Back now on Triad today, just about time for the Roundtable, but a reminder, hope you pick up your copy of Yes Weekly. It's free, it's just about everywhere. And if you can't find it everywhere, you can go online. And also a shout out to our good friends here at the Senior Botanical Garden for hosting us. Their website's on screen, seniorbotanicalgarden.org. Please come out and visit, and you can have your small weddings and all that stuff. Now to the Roundtable on my right, but always the political left, Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster and journalist. Social distance behind him are two great guys, David Daggett, who you saw in an earlier segment talking about the backpack program for kids, and of course Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. Guys, the State Board of Elections has forbidden police or sheriff's deputies from being posted at polling places. Now, are you okay with that? Are you worried that if they're nowhere around, that there could be other types of people to intimidate voters, like poll watchers who aren't supposed to be poll watchers? Thoughts, Ogie?
Yeah, I'm confused. I think I'd rather have a sheriff there than one of Trump's goon squad with an AK-47 in his hand.
David, what do you think?
That's intimidation.
I think we don't know what to expect. I don't like militarizing the election sites. So if you have law enforcement at every site, I think there's a possibility you swing too far that way. The flip side is if you have people out of control, we could go too far this way. The problem we've got in society right now, the pendulum is swinging so broad, it's hard to define where those fences are.
Right. Keith?
I think they should be worried about having more polling sites. That's what I think. They should, instead of less. And I think that they should have some presence, police presence, because I believe that there will be a lot of interruption in this polling cycles, and a lot of people will be there to disrupt the polling places.
People
so they're going to have some form of security.
Yeah. Now, as Congress and White House debate whether they're going to even have another round of stimulus checks for everybody, and it looks like it could be next year, if at all, maybe January or something. Here's some good news for one group of people. In overturning a lower court decision, a U.S. district judge ruled that people who are incarcerated, prisoners, may receive stimulus checks from this year's budget. Guys, you okay with convicts receiving stimulus money, Ogie?
Well, I mean, if they worked and earned money, I guess it would be nice if they could put it in an escrow fund to have something to build on when they got out of jail, rather than spending it all on cigarettes and dope and joint.
Yeah, David.
I mean, I think that's a different issue. A stimulus check is supposed to stimulate the economy.
Right.
He can't stimulate the economy, he or she, while they're incarcerated. I don't think they should be getting stimulus checks.
Keith.
That defeats the purpose.
All right, Keith.
First, I don't like the word convict. I think it's a bad word. The second thing is the.
Did I say convict or what?
You did say convict.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but.
But I think that if they've worked and they put money into it, one of the things that happens when people get out of prison is that they don't have any money. So when you get out of prison, if you don't have any money or any way to get a job, what do you do? So I think it's important that we continue to support people so that if they get out of prison, there is some
So
type
as they start to be
support system for them to get back.
Right. So when they get out, then the ex-offenders can maybe have that in their bank account.
Exactly.
All right.
Sure.
Last week, if you ask Cal Cunningham's, we ask each other. We talked about Cal Cunningham's extramarital problems, and we said, is it going to make a difference in the election? Well, now since then, he's being investigated by the Army because he's a lieutenant colonel in the reserves. They're investigating because adultery, if he's found to have committed adultery, that's against the military code. Now, which means he could be dishonorably discharged. Will that have an effect on the election between him and Tillis, Ogie?
Jim, there's no such thing as conventional wisdom anymore. You remember last week I said that he's going to lose a couple of points. That was like a no-brainer.
Right.
Obviously he's going to lose. He went up. He went up 2 points in the polls.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't think it'll matter.
David.
This is a different day and time. You would think it would have an effect, but there's so much craziness out there that this really isn't that big a deal in the broad spectrum.
Keith Granberry.
It seems like the government is politicizing politics. You've got the Attorney General suing Melania Trump's a friend for writing a book. I've never heard of that before.
No.
So this is par for the course. And so I think people will look at it as such, and he probably will benefit from this attack.
All right, since you mentioned the Trump administration, recently the president retweeted something that was a false accusation saying that Joe Biden was a pedophile, which he isn't. But the thing is, even though Twitter's making all these reforms and they're trying to change things and filter out things, same with Facebook, the official from Twitter said, well, retweeting something about Joe Biden being a pedophile, and I'm going to read the quote, is not a violation of Twitter rules. Guys, should Twitter be regulated by the federal government and fined for allowing such kind of information to get out, Ogie?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to believe. I mean, they're flagging a lot. Twitter and Facebook are flagging a lot of his crap.
Yeah.
But how did that get by?
But they
How
still
is that
leave it
not
up.
a violation?
Yeah, even with the warnings, David, they still leave it up quickly.
Well, here's what I think. The legal system trails society a little bit, and it hasn't quite caught up yet. I think you're going to see things like the laws of defamation that cover broadcast media start edging their way into social media so that we have a landscape that's a little bit more controlled, regulated, and fair.
I agree. Quickly, Keith.
I was getting ready to say what David said. I said they should be sued for defamation of character if you're taking information and you're retweeting it, which is false information, and you know it's false.
So
All right,
some things most people don't know. President has absolute immunity on defamation.
Yeah, I know he does. That's
And-
a whole nother
Yep.
problem.
Oh,
Now, speaking of all those problems, here's the final thing. According to the Zen Herald, which I think is a website, if you put salt in your shampoo, then your hair will be healthier. Guys, have you ever put salt in your shampoo? Ogie. No, you.
I'm kind of a Zen kind
You're
of
a
guy.
Zen
you
master.
know.
Have you,
I have never done it, but I might. I mean,
David?
sure, I'd try it.
It
Why
turned
not?
me white. Come on, Jim.
Keith, have you ever put salt in your shampoo?
You know, I have not tried that, but my hair is so luxurious that I may try it and see if it helps. But I don't think it's going to
I'll
help
tell you
me.
what you ought to try. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this, a Charlotte area hotel is doing something to help out small businesses. They're turning their hotel rooms into office space. Each office includes Wi-Fi and a bed. Works for me, said Cal Cunningham.
No, Jim. No. Don't start today.
For all of us here, I'll try it today, except for Ogie. He's doing some Zen stuff. We'll see you next week.